How do guys, how are you? Hope you're all safe and well. Just going to be a quick video this, but I thought it was important that we got the message out there. So I was hoping to travel into Tramtown today, which is what this video is about. But my health says no. But I thought I need to put something out there. So if you don't know what Tramtown is, it's the home of the heritage trams in Blackpool. If you don't know what the heritage trams are, well, I'm sure you've seen them. If you've ever been down the prom during illumination time and you've seen those fantastic trams with the lights on. Now, people who've lived in Blackpool for many, many years still stop and look and take pictures of these trams. And they're truly, truly breathtaking. And Tramtown is where they work on the trams. It's where they maintain them. It's where they look after them. Some of these trams are very, very old. And Blackpool Council, in their wisdom, decided they want to close it down. So let me read you exactly what they've said, because I don't want to misquote anybody. So what Blackpool Council have said is that they no longer have any intention to maintain the buildings, restore the heritage trams, or carry out engineering work. Just think about that for a minute. These trams that have gone up and down Blackpool Prom for over 100 years have been maintained and looked after, and they bring untold people into the resort, and Blackpool Council can't see any value in that. So these trams, they're not obsolete, are they? They're completely irreplaceable. The paint shop, the body shop, the fitting shop, which is the very heart of Tramtown where all this work's carried out. And a lot of you out there may not know this. It's actually a visitor attraction as well. You can visit Tramtown. Bit of a hidden gem, to be fair. Now, Councillor Paul Gelly, who's quite well known in Blackpool, I'm sure a lot of you, if you're from the Blackpool area, know the name. He's got quite a lot to do with Tramtown, and he used a great phrase that I'm going to quote here. He's called it cultural vandalism. And he's exactly right, isn't he? He's exactly right, because that's what it is. It's cultural vandalism. So what the council have said is, the heritage trams themselves are going to be stored in a deteriorating tram shed, which for now is expected to remain. But what happens when they start to degrade over time? What happens when that building becomes unfit for purpose and the council are unwilling to maintain it? All the restoration would stop. There'd be no tours. There'd be no public access to these monumental vehicles. I mean, these are moments in history. These are pieces of history that they're like frozen in time. If you look at any old pictures of Blackpool, you'll see these trams. The old black and white ones, the people in the Victorian garb were riding on these very same trams that, thanks to Tramtown, we can ride on today. It'd just be a slow decline. They're irreplaceable. Now, maybe one way round this is to apply to make Tramtown an asset of community value. I know that when I had the pub a few years ago, there was talk of closing down my pub, which had been there for many, many years. And I'm sure you've read about it in the press, where pubs and buildings that are important to a certain town, the locals have all got together and applied to make it an asset of community value, which means it's protected and no one can shut it down and no one can close it. And it is exactly what it says. It's an asset of community value. It's value to the community. Now, at the very heart of Blackpool is the trams. So with the trams comes Tramtown. You can't have one, really, without the other. Now, in the description of this video, I'm going to put the email address of Councillor Lynn Williams, who's the leader of Blackpool Council. And if I can ask every single one of you just to take 2 minutes out of your day and send Councillor Lynn Williams an email and just let her know exactly what you think of this decision. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. In fact, if you say that you're from another country and that you travelled over to Blackpool, to England, to see the trams, how much you appreciate them, how much you love seeing them, how much you love seeing them on social media or on the TV, they are a part of history that we do not want to lose. But just as important, if you're a Blackpool resident and you're watching this, Councillor Lynn Williams, that's who we need to get hold of. We need to mobilise ourselves. We need to send as many polite emails as we can. Please don't be offensive to anybody. Please don't be abusive or nasty or threatening. Just a polite, listen, I live in the town. This is important to me. I live in the town. As you all know, I'm a recent movie to Blackpool. I'm quite new here, but it fills my heart with joy seeing the trams going up and down the prom. The heritage trams are breathtaking, absolutely breathtaking, and we don't want to lose them, and we don't want to lose the team behind the scenes that maintains them and keeps them going. Because if they keep this up, they could be here for another 100 years. Whereas if they're just left to rot in a shed, how long are they realistically going to last? When you think of Blackpool, you think of trams, don't you? They're just part of the Blackpool tourist appeal. They're part of the heritage of Blackpool, Blackpool trams. Simple as that. I know that other cities have trams now. When I moved out of Manchester, they had trams. Oldham had trams. But they're not Blackpool trams, are they? And the heritage trams are something else. I'm sure you've all seen them. And I'm sure you've all appreciated them. So come on, let's mobilise ourselves. Share this video as far as you can. Put it on your Facebook. Put it on your social media. Share it on Reddit, wherever you are. Twitter, X, I don't know. But let's see if we can mobilise and make Blackpool Council listen to people. Now the councillor making statements that they're going to look after the heritage trams, they're going to do this and they're going to do that. It's just hot air. I've got a funny feeling it's just hot air. It's the thin end of a very big wedge. First tram town gets closed. What's next? By the very definition, it's going to be the trams themselves, isn't it? Blackpool Council are going to say they've got no money to maintain the trams. But Tram Town is doing a fantastic job of maintaining the trams and keeping them in tip-top condition and bringing visitors to Blackpool. I can't stress how important Tram Town is. It's the last operational first-generation tram depot in the UK. And it's also one of only 3 tram depots in the world that operate double-deck trams on a mainline tramway. If you want to visit Tram Town, it's based on Rigby Road in Blackpool. So if you just put into Google Tram Town Blackpool, it'll tell you the opening times. Now more than ever, they need your support. They need this funding. They need money in the bank if they're to stand any chance of survival. And it's a different day out. You know, you might spend a morning there, you might spend an afternoon there. Take the kids, teach them a little bit about history. If you're anything like me, a bit of a history buff, it's a revelation visiting Tram Town. It literally is like stepping back in time. This is a place that actually sports a red heritage plaque from the National Trust. Even the National Trust recognise the historic significance of this building in the heart of Blackpool. If the National Trust can see that, why can't Blackpool Council? So there we go, guys, a bit of a serious video. Don't forget, Lynn Williams' email is going to be in the description of this video. Please share it far and wide. We need to get together and save Blackpool's heritage trams. Sad, isn't it? I can't believe this, to be honest with you. I honestly can't believe it. But there we go. Okay, if you like what you see, please subscribe. It's absolutely free. And I hope to see you very soon in the next one. Take very good care. Bye-bye.